students, welcome to the sixth session of the first chapter of financial management. In this chapter or in this session we are going to learn about the goals of financial management. In the previous session we already studied about the profit maximization goal, and today we are going to concentrate on wealth maximization. What are the objectives of today's session means analyzing the goals of financial management and its impact on financial decisions in the business. Outcome of studying today's session is understanding the goals to be achieved by the finance department in the modern era. So as already I said, today we are going to concentrate on the other basic objective of financial management, that is wealth maximization. Wealth maximization is the main objective of financial management because profit maximization has got certain limitations. Therefore, the objective of wealth maximization is introduced or come into existence in order to remove or overcome the limitations of profit maximization. The term wealth maximization refers to the gradual growth of the value of assets of the firm in the terms of benefits it can produce. So, the term wealth maximization refers to the gradual growth in what means in the value of the assets of the firm. How means in terms of the benefits it can produce. So how there is growth in the value of assets and how it is going to give some benefits to the organization as wealth maximization. Any financial action can be judged in terms of benefits it can produce less the cost of the action. So whether a financial action is justified or not, how we can know means we have to just see what is the total benefits produced of a certain action or certain decision. For example, if you want to achieve a profit of rupees 1 lakh, you may have to incur a cost of rupees 70,000. Then we may get a profit of rupees 30,000. So how we can know whether a financial action is going to be beneficial or not means we have to just see what are the benefits or what are the total cash inflows we are going to get. From that we have to deduct the cost of the action. So what cost we are going to incur for getting those benefits. So when we get a positive term, it means that we are getting a profit. When we get a negative number, it means that the action is not worth taking into consideration. So wealth maximization attained by the company is reflected in the market value of the shares. How can we know whether a decision has contributed to the wealth maximization of wealth of the company, or how a company has attained its wealth maximization consequence? It will be reflected in the market value of the shares. So the market value of the share should be increasing year by year. Wealth maximization is the process of creating wealth for an organization which maximizes the wealth of the shareholders. So in the process of maximizing or creating the wealth of an organization, it will in turn maximize the wealth of the shareholders. Wealth maximization is the net present value of a financial decision. So what is wealth maximization means? It is the net present value of a financial decision. So what is net present value means? It is the gross present value of benefits derived minus the investment. So what are the total cash flows we are going to get from a certain opportunity, business opportunity that we have to consider. From that we have to deduct the cost of the investment. Then we get what is the net present value. So net present value is not only significant for the shareholders or the company alone, it is also significant or important for the lenders or the creditors, workers or the employees, management or owners, and also the government or society. Because when we are concentrating on maximizing the wealth of the company as well as shareholders, it also means that we are ensuring the welfare of the creditors, the employees, the management, and also the society and the government. What are the advantages of wealth maximization? So the objectives or the advantage, the first advantage of wealth maximization is it is a clear term and avoids ambiguity. So wealth maximization is a clear term because the net effect of investments and benefits can be measured quantitatively. So quantitatively we can measure what is the total benefits the organization is deriving from a decision minus its investment. Then we get what is the total profits attained by the organization. So therefore it is a clear term and avoids any confusion or ambiguity because the benefits can be measured quantitatively. We can tell the figures in numbers. Second one, it considers the concept of time value of money. Here we are going to use the discount factor to calculate the present value of cash inflows as well as cash outflows, because a rupee received today has more value than a rupee received after some time. Therefore, whatever is the future benefits we are going to get, we have to convert them to today's value. And then we have to compare the total cash outflows or investments and the total cash inflows or profits. And then we can take a decision regarding whether we can go with this investment opportunity or we have to ignore. Therefore, one of the advantages of wealth maximization is it considers the concept of time value of money. This concept is universally accepted. The concept of wealth maximization is universally accepted because it is taking care of the interest of the financial institutions, owners, employees, and the societies at large, along with taking care or considering the interest of the company as well as the shareholders. It guides the management in framing consistent and strong dividend policy, and hence it protects the economic welfare of the shareholders. So, one of the advantages of wealth maximization is it will guide the management in framing a consistent and strong dividend policy, because based on this dividend policy only, the market value of the shares will increase or decrease, and therefore it will help help in protecting the economic welfare of the shareholders. It will guide the management in framing a strong and consistent dividend policy. The concept of wealth maximization considers the impact of risk factor. So, the concept of wealth maximization is also considering the risk factor to which a business organization may be open to, because we are taking into consideration the time value of money. Here considerably we are reducing the risk for the business organization, future risk for the business organization. Another advantage is it helps in achieving other objectives like increasing sales, growth of market, facing competition and survival, etc. So when we are concentrating on the wealth maximization, it is also helping the company in attaining some other objectives or other objectives like increasing the sales of the organization. As the sales are increasing, the profits will also increase, and thereby are going to pay good dividends to the shareholders, and the market value of the shares will also improve. So when we are concentrating on wealth maximization, it helps in the growing of markets for our products. It helps the business to face the competition in the market, and also it helps in the survival of the company in the market. This wealth maximization is also helping the company in attaining the other objectives also. So we have seen there are so many advantages of wealth maximization when compared to the profit maximization. Though there are certain disadvantages too, or criticisms are there for the concept of wealth maximization also. So one of the disadvantages, the objective of wealth maximization is not descriptive but only prescriptive. So the objective of wealth maximization is only descriptive and not prescriptive, because it tells that an organization should maximize its wealth, but it is not prescribing the way in which the wealth of the organization can be attained. It is not telling the firm actually what it has to do in order to attain the wealth maximization, or to improve its wealth maximization or increase its wealth maximization. Thus, it is only describing and not prescribing any any The other objective of wealth maximization is, the other criticism of wealth maximization is the concept of increasing the wealth of the shareholders differs from one entity to another. So when we tell that our objective is wealth maximization, it means that we are going to pay some dividends handsomely, and thereby it is going to increase the increase the market value of the shares. So when we speak about this wealth maximization, it also differs from one entity to another, and there is no uniformity in case we have to compare two or more organizations. So the concept of increasing wealth of the shareholders will differ from one entity to another, and when we have to compare two organizations, it is not possible. Academicians and corporate officers are urging the companies to have more socially conscious business management. So one of the criticisms faced by the wealth maximization goal is that today academicians and corporate officers tell the company to have more socially conscious business rather than aiming at maximizing the wealth of the organization, because even during the earlier periods, businessmen were expected to conform to ethical standards of trade and commerce. So in the earlier periods too, businessmen were required to conform to certain ethical standards, providing good products and services to the customers, and also demanded businessmen to contribute towards socio-economic environment. In the previous era too, business organizations were involved in some corporate social responsibility. That is, they were required to contribute to the development of the society, and also the development of the economic environment, and also the natural environment. The next disadvantage is, or criticism is, various restrictions are imposed by the government and companies which the companies have to follow. So restrictions are being imposed on business entities for establishment, for expansion, for closure, and etc. And all these restrictions have to be followed by the business organizations when they are doing the business, and in the due course it may not be possible to maximize the wealth of the shareholders. Another criticism, the management ignores social responsibility. In maximizing the return to the shareholders, the business organization ignores its social responsibility. So it has to produce good products and services which satisfy the customers. It has to protect the environment. It has to protect the interest of the investors. It has to protect the interest of the employees and so on. So in the process of attaining wealth, sometimes it may ignore the social responsibility. When we speak about this wealth maximization concept, firm's wealth is not considered, only the wealth of the shareholders is considered, and that is one of the major drawback. And most of the shares are held by few people, and therefore equality of wealth is not maintained. So most of the shares will be held only by a few people. They will be holding the shares in bulk, and therefore when we are giving the dividends, equality of wealth is not maintained. The resources will go into the hands of a few people only. What are the steps in order to increase the wealth of the organization? Means the first one, we have avoid high levels of risk. So some of the investment proposals are highly risky and may contribute more towards the profits of the organization. Such proposals should be ignored as it may affect the profitability of the organization in the long run if the investment proposal fails in the middle. Therefore, the organization has to maintain a balance between the risk and return. So medium risk, medium return. Low risk, low return. High risk, high return. This is the things what happen, but a company should have balance between the risks and also the returns. Second one, pay dividends. The business has to pay dividends regularly to the shareholders, which will result in increasing the goodwill of the firm and also increasing the market value of the shares. Next one, maintain growth in sales. The company should aim to increase its sales gradually, which contributes towards the earnings of the organization. More earnings act as a protective layer for the company. So, as in when we are going to increase our sales and earn more, it will act as a protective layer for the company, and therefore we have to maintain growth in the sales. So, how it acts as a protective layer means it will help the company in overcoming the economic recession, and also sometimes when there is changes in the tastes and fashions of the customers. Next step in wealth maximization is maintain the market price of the equity shares. So the firm should undertake some reasonable steps to maintain the market price of equity shares. The other objectives, apart from the basic objectives of profit maximization and wealth maximization, we also have the other objectives. Among them, the first one is balanced asset structure. So the company, in accordance with its operations, should have a balanced asset structure. That is, whatever is its business, in accordance it has to plan for the fixed assets as well as the current assets. So if it requires more fixed assets and less current assets, it has to invest more in fixed assets and less in current assets. If certain business organization requires more in current assets and less in fixed assets, then the organization has to have more current assets and less fixed assets. So there should be a balanced asset structure in the organization. So whatever is applicable for the organization, in that way it has to maintain its assets, that is fixed assets and current assets, maintaining liquidity. So as we always plan for profits, it is also the obligation of the company to maintain liquidity in the organization, so that we are going to maintain our goodwill too. So if we are having adequate liquidity, it may be possible for the company to pay its workers on time, to pay its creditors, and so on. Therefore, adequate liquidity should be maintained. Judicious planning of funds. So there should be judicious planning of funds. When we are planning for funds, it should not come too much from the equity shares or too much from the debt funds. There should be some combination which should be arrived between the debt and equity capital. Efficiency. The organization should work efficiently. Whatever we have invested in accordance with the plan, we have to work. When we are working in accordance with the plans and standards what we have fixed, we can achieve efficiency. The last objective is financial discipline. The organization should also ensure financial discipline in the organization. So it has to reduce the fraud, errors, etc. and it should have proper control over the cash and other assets so that it is not misused by anyone. Here we have few multiple choice questions. So wealth maximization is a dash term. So wealth maximization is a clear term. The concept of wealth maximization is dash accepted. So it is universally accepted. Wealth maximization considers the time value of money concept. The objective of wealth maximization is only prescriptive because it is not going to describe the ways in which we are going to attain the wealth maximization. The management may ignore the social responsibility. Today, academicians and corporate officers advise business on more socially conscious business because we have to contribute towards the society, towards some social responsibility. These are the few books for reference. Thank you.